Myself, Dr. Salve Prakash Nivrutti, Associate Professor, Department of Geography, Maharaja Jivajirao Shinde Mahavidyalay, Srigonda, District Ahmednagar, affiliated by Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. FY BSc Choice Based Credit System syllabus to be implemented from academic year 2019 to 2020. The semester first, paper first. And name of the title of paper, Introduction to Physical Geography, paper first, or Geomorphology. This is the now today's we are discuss about unit number second, Earth, the Earth system. The fourth point is crustal movement faulting. Okay, now let us start to lecture. The faulting. What is mean by faulting? Here, fault means cracks. When the rock masses is put under the several stress, there develop a strain and their stream may cause the rock break and fractures known as faulting. In the process horizontal, crustal movement compression at the one place involve the tension is another place. Okay, such tension may result into breakup of the crust. Then the fracturing of the crust may result due to intensive pressure of compression. During the process of faulting of the surface of the earth is deformed and the rocks are displaced on either side of it. Such displacement and breakup of the crustal material is known as faults. The planes along with the displacement of rocks strata occurs is known as fault planes. Here, this is the fault planes. The displacements of rocks may be in vertical manner or horizontal manner or combine both. Okay, now faults. This is the animation of faults. The rocks cracks and the rocks divergent one place to another. Okay, a fault is when a tension and compression, associated with the plate's movement. Here, the plate's movement is so great that breaks of rock fractures or break apart. These processes can occur very rapidly in the form of earthquake. The damage caused by event can be very destructive and cause severe change to earth surface. There are 5 types of faults that can occur. First is normal faults, Another is reverse fault, then the tear faults, then rift valley and horst fault. This is the five type of changes, five type of faults. Then the faulting. Faulting occurs when earth crust crack under the tension. ताण निर्माण होतो. When processes are acting opposite each other, these portion opposite each other, one to another, okay, causing layer rocks or stress and cracks. Normal faults develop are and one block move down relative to other blocks, okay, downflow in direction of faults to form is an escarpments. Then the faults, some rocks layer break when stress is applied to them. Here is the stress and there are the cracks. Here the cracks. The trace, when the trace the rocks is cracks, the surface along with rocks break is called a faults. Here the parallel cracks, and these cracks, the tensional force one place to another place, the both parts is divergent and they cracks here. These are the cracks, okay, the faults. Then the blocks of crust on each sides of the faults are called fault breaks. Here the rocks each sides, okay? Here both sides the rocks fractures. Now a fault has foot wall, the hanging walls. Here the hanging walls, in this slides, here the rocks, the cracks come together. Then the normal faults, when they come together, line of cracks here, and here the hanging wall, लटकती कडा आपण ज्याला म्हणतो ते लटकती कडा, hanging wall, and another is foot wall. Yeah, okay. Here is the three photographs, various types of rocks faults. Here is the fault, horizontal and vertically faults, the diagonal faults and the horizontally faults. Yeah, the vertical here faults. Okay, normal faults. What is mean by normal faults? The normal faults occur as produce a tension. Okay? This time the rock strata away from each other. Tension when the inclination of the faults plane and faults plane, here faults plane, and direction of the down throw, this block is down thrown, are both to the rights and both to the lefts. One parts the rights and one part to left directions divergent. The fault is known as normal faults. Okay, this is the animations. Okay, one is down to downslope, and this time the diversion, here the distance between the less than. Okay, this is the animation of normal faults. Here the faults. Okay, in a normal fault is the hanging wall slide down to the footwalls. These occurs when rock move away from each other due to the land moving apart. Then when rocks move apart side with drop below the side with the more stable plates. One the top rights, here one the top rights is the movement of normal faults. A picture is also shown below. Notice the displacement. This is the place in displacement. Okay. Notice displacement of different types of rocks on each sides of the fault. Here the tension. Tension means in these rocks here and here. Trace. Okay. Extension. And where the faults cut, there the fault plane. This part is fault plane. Okay, like this. This is the tension. Some parts is below, underground, under, and is rising. And the compressions. Compression is both the sides come together and the one is uplifted, downward direction and in upward direction the movements. Okay, yeah, the downward and upward direction the compress दाब पडल्यानंतर. रिव्हर्स फॉल्ट्स. द रिव्हर्स फॉल्ट म्हणजे कॉम्प्रेशनल फोर्स. नॉर्मल फॉल्ट इज टेन्शनल फोर्स. ओके, टेन्शनल फोर्स द ताण, दोन्ही बाजूनी ताण पडलं की ते ओढले जातात. तसं रिव्हर्स फॉर द कॉम्प्रेस, दाब पडलं की ते कॉम्प्रेशनल रिव्हर्स फोर्स. हियर compressional force. The reverse fault occur due to compression. In this type of faulting, displacement of rocks occurs in the upward directions and shown in the diagram. Okay. To the in an animations of reverse fault below the real pictures with the reverse faults, the animation, the compress. This time the both sides come together. Okay, and upward and downward direction movements. These movements is upward and downward direction, but this come together. Here photographs. Reverse faults are the opposite of normal faults. Rock are compressed such that one plates move upward while the other descends below its. One plate upward and another plate is downward directions movement. When the plate compress and cracks, usually more dense one is force under the less dense one, the similar of action of oceanic crust, action of continental crust colliding with the oceanic crust. Here the moon descent crust, being the oceanic crust, is force under the continental crust. Okay. The opposing force cause rocks move horizontally and earthquake occurring along the faults. Strike slip faults, not a upward direction and downward direction. Slide जे काय आहे ते मूव्हिंग they strike slip off. Okay, the one plate is horizontally movement, not upward vertically movement. This is the horizontally movement. जे एक प्लेट पुढे सरकते, एक मागे सरकते. Here म्हणजे he these plates is the movement he in these sides, and these plates is movement in this side. He at the angle of rolls they disturb here. Okay, the movement is horizontally movement. One is left and one is right. Tear faults. The tear faults is known as transformation faults occur when two tectonic plates side in a lateral motion part each other. Here, this is the animations. Okay, these two plates, one plate divergent here and another plate is divergent here. These type of faults cause the most several earthquake because they grind against each other. These earthquakes can either be shallow or deep and cause tremors over short or long period of times. Tear faults can occur frequently, especially along a coast of California. Now, previous slides here seen the California lines, coast of California faults. Now, Rift Valley. Rift Valley is formed when the block of the crust between a parallel faults subsides. म्हणजे का याच्यामध्ये जर पॅरल जर क्रॅक गेलेले असेल आणि त्याच्यातला मधला जो काही पार्ट आहे, मिडल पार्ट्स द डाउनवर्ड डिरेक्शन आणि साइड पार्ट ॲज अपवर्ड डिरेक्शन. These times the rift valley subside along a fault plane such as a way that the neighbor as area remaining the higher level and middle portion is the downward level. Here, this is rift valley. The subsided part of the crust form depressions or valley known as Rift Valley. Such a Rift Valley is called gabion. Gabion is again German words that denote throw. When such a gabion extended into long distance, when considerable depth, the valley form is called as a Rift Valley. The top features: San Andres, the fault, and the bottom right of the diagram. What a Rift Valley look like. Yeah. Rift Valley or gabion. the animated figure. The, the both side, the upward direction or middle size is downward direction. जे मधला पार्ट कधी कधी खाली सरतो किंवा साईडचे पार्ट अपलिफ्ट होतात, राईज होतात. इज फॉर्म व्हेन blocks between two parallel faults sink, or when block either side of two parallel are thrust up over the central block. Eggs are Rhine Rift Valley between block forest of Germany and the Vosges of France, and the East American Rift Valley. A rift valley is when two normal faults, yeah, two normal faults occur parallel to each other and land sink between a faults. There are two major examples of these. One beginning the Great Rift Valley in North Africa, and the other is San Andreas Fault in California. The most uh, important features. Block mountains. Yeah, the block mountains are host. When two parallel faults come into existence due to the tension and compressions and the displacement of rock strata take place along both the faults line or faults plane. Here the line and fault planes. Thus the central block, the crust is rise. Here the central block crust is rise. This is called horst. जेव्हा तो मधलाच पार्ट जो आहे तो अपलिफ्ट होतो किंवा राईज होतो आणि साईडचे खाली जातात, ते हॉर्स्ट or block mounts. It stand like a mountain. Such mountain form due to a parallel faulting is known as block mountain. Sometimes the land is either mass is between at higher level known as horst. Horst is German words. Horst mountain of Germany is formed due to such faulting. The slope on either side of the fault are very steep. Yeah, very steep. Other example of block mountain are Vosges mountain. Okay, these are photographs. Block, that is the rise between two parallel faults from block mount or horst. If the surface is horizontal tilted plateaus, if block mountain is tilted, that is Deccan plateaus in India, the best example of block mountain. A horst can also be founded by sinking of blocks on either side of parallel faults, leaving a central block standing high as mountain. Horst, the middle portion is uplifted and side portion is downward direction movement. The horst is opposite of the rift valley. The land between parallel faults is force upward because the two faults are being pushed together. Okay. Here, these process can take a long time to occur because the average plates movement is 1 inch per year. म्हणजे 1 इंच पर इयर, म्हणजे त्यांची जी हालचाल जी आहे ती साधारणपणे वर्षाला 1 इंच अशी होत असते. सर, these are example of horse fault on the left. Yeah, left side, the normal faults, folded mountains. The folded mountain, the faulting, is a process in which the earth plates are pushed together in roller coaster like series of high points and low points. Yeah, high points and low points. J wave type of features. Folding bends by many types, many layers of rocks without breaking things. The Appalachian Mountain and Rocky Mountain of the United States and the Alps of Europe are example of the mountain range that were the formed by folding. Yeah, this is wave type. These features. Okay, now see the photographs here. The wave type of the features. Okay, then the fault block mountains. Here, mountain sometime from when the many layers of the earth crust are moved vertical upward, a fault lines here, yeah, vertical fault lines of the earth crust are moved vertically upward, fault lines by pressure caused by plates collide. Fault lines are great cracks in the crust. The mountain that are formed in this way are called fault block mountain. Yeah, the block mountain. The Sierra Nevada mountain in California and Nevada and the Great Teton range of the Wyoming are example of the fault block mountain. The reference books and some photographs taken in by google.com internets. Okay, thank you. We will see the next video. Thank you.